This is Fantasy Banter HQ. Bold takes, sharp analysis, and zero filters.
Whoever comes in last place of the regular season wears the dress. Isn't that it?
But yeah. But Biggie's down there, and then I'll go head to head. Yeah. But Biggie's down there with you.
I did beat him once, so there is that.
Oh, so you got the head to head against him.
I got the head to head against him. And we're only on week 5 here, guys. But it's not looking great. I can't lie. But
I thought I was going to be in the dress for a bit, and now I just beat Mole, so that looks good on my end.
Yeah, it's only week 5. It's only week 5.
Yeah,
I can see one of us in the dress still. Who knows?
Yeah, injuries could happen.
Tell me
to other teams.
Please tell me
other teams.
I'm not the guy you want to talk to about injuries.
Yeah.
I think we should start with the Minnesota game because that was the first game of the week.
Yeah.
Besides the Thursday game, I guess. I forget about that. For one, I will say I had Jordan Addison in my lineup. I had no clue that he was in trouble for anything, and I'm still glad I put him in my lineup because he sat the first half, didn't he?
First quarter.
Yeah. No, first quarter. Yeah.
So he had the disciplinary situation happening. And I had him in, and had I known he was going to get benched for the first quarter, I probably wouldn't have put him in, but then I wouldn't have got the benefit of the touchdown.
Right.
So sometimes it pays to be complete, like ignorance on fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think anybody knew about it.
100% up on what's happening. What'd you say?
Yeah, I don't think anybody knew about that. So
yeah, we didn't hear about it before the game or anything. It was just like after he sat out, the announcers in the middle of the second quarter, like, okay, there's Addison's first catch because he was disciplined for the first quarter. And we're kind of like, oh, that happened.
Oh man, I still think that there's I love Carson Wentz for fantasy, man.
Yeah.
I love him for fan. He's just a fan. He's making all those players fantasy relevant. And as soon as JJ goes in, my fears is that Justin Jefferson and Addison and Hawkinson are basically going to be relegated back to meaning like nothing, basically. You're still going to start, Jefferson and Addison, but it's just nice having a guy in there that can get the rock to him at will. Now, whether that translates well to real football and whether or not they're going to win games, that's a completely different story. But coming off this week, Justin, what do you think is going to happen when J.J. McCarthy comes back? And, I mean, is there talks about that happening next week or after the bye, I should say?
Yeah, I've heard both, that he'll be ready and obviously that he won't. I mean, fortunately, for me, with the unknown, I didn't draft. I have 0 Vikings, so I don't worry about it from a fantasy perspective. From a Viking fan perspective, I'm excited to see, JJ kind of taking a step back, watching Wentz, having the line be healthy, and seeing what transpires in like a real football perspective. He still, has a lot of growing to do, but he's got to do it at some point. So I don't like the idea of him coming back against Philly, but I'd like to see him sit out another game after the bye. Just make sure he's completely fully healthy.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that one. Hawkinson's not really he's not really lighting the world on fire this season. I expect a little bit more out of TJ Hawkinson. There's a ton of other tight ends that might be a better fit. I'm trying to think in the league that I have TJ Hawkinson. I had Darren Waller come back this week and actually score a touchdown. So who you like better, Darren Waller or TJ Hawkinson?
I think at this point it is Waller. I mean, he's putting up numbers and he's been on a snap count. From what they had said, his snap count was 16 snaps in the first game, and he had the game that he had there on Monday night. And then this week he had 32 snaps, and so it's just going to continue to increase. No Tyreek. It kind of seems like he's resurrecting, and he looks like he's the real deal. I'd much rather have him than Hawkinson at this point.
Yeah, and I think I even dropped Waller in a league that I had him in just because I picked him up like late or something. And I was just like, you know what? He's been out. I don't know what he's going to be, and I need the roster spot. So I'm kind of regretting that. I mean, through a couple games, he's averaging 18 points a game versus Hawkinson's 8 points. Hawkinson, to me, has not looked the same since he came back from injury, but that could just be because he hasn't had Kirk Cousins that whole time, and that could have something to do with that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland side of the ball, and I'll be honest with you, I was in and out of this game, even though it was the Vikings game. But Cleveland side of the ball, what are you guys noticing there? I know Njoku had a good game, right?
Yeah, he had a good game. Judkins had a good game, which was expected. The Vikings don't have a defensive defense to stop the rush, so
they really can't stop the run to save their lives.
Yeah, I think Gabriel could have probably got moved to running back, and they could have put Shedeur Sanders in, and he would have had 110 yards on us. So
with that said, Judkins looks phenomenal. I mean,
he does,
and he didn't really have a preseason. He didn't have any time in training camp, and for him to be already, gelling with the offense this well, it looks really encouraging for Judkins owner. Unfortunately, I don't have any shares, but for those that own them, good on you.
I have Judkins in one league, and I'm pretty excited about it. I've seen the big, carry share and the yardage, but then I had to think to myself, well, he is playing the Vikings, and the Vikings don't stop the run very, very well. So there is that, but I'm excited. I'm excited to have Judkins. Anything else from this game that you guys want to touch on before we move on to the next one?
I don't have anything else on this one.
No.
So on Saturday we made our picks, and my pick, out on a limb pick was that I said I thought the Ravens were going to beat the Texans without Lamar Jackson. Could not have been more wrong. I could not have been more wrong on that pick.
Yeah.
They didn't look very good. I'll tell you that. They did not look great. So,
well, Houston's gaining confidence, it looks like. I know Baltimore's depleted and Tennessee last week, but just two really good games, building that confidence, and the team's building rapport. It seems like Stroud, when he was struggling, he'd struggle against the bad teams too. So to see him actually putting up some numbers and seeing the offense click is really encouraging for those of us that have Texans.
Even Nick Chubb with the 60 yards and the touchdown.
Sure, yeah.
I had to have him in at least one league because I had no other options, of course.
It was interesting to see them kind of pull back again from Woody Marks after his really fantastic performance last week. That was interesting to see and discouraging. Yep. I'm not really quite sure to make of that, but he's obviously the one that's fresher legs. He's quicker. He's elusive and got the speed. And I thought he, proved his worth last week, but he didn't get much run at all this week.
Yeah, and then from the receivers over there, it seems like Stroud really spread the ball around a lot. Because when you look at the target share, Christian Kirk 4 targets, Dalton Schultz 6, Nico Collins 5, Jaden Higgins 4. Everyone had like 50, 60 yards.
Yep.
Yeah.
So nobody really stuck out there. On the other side of the ball, though, were you shocked to see Derrick Henry? I guess the game flow means Derrick Henry probably didn't have a huge opportunity, but he did have 15 carries.
Mm-hmm.
And so only had the 33 yards and a touchdown, 2 yards per carry. Ever since week 1, we haven't really seen him explode the way that we expected, right? At week 1, I was like, this guy's a vampire.
Right? Yeah, because he looked so good week 1.
No, he looked like absolutely unstoppable. He looked unstoppable. Yep. He looked like the big kid in 7th grade football that gets the ball every time. He should be a lineman, but they got him at running back. That's what he looked like.
It seemed like last year it was a little slow starting as well, but he didn't have the big, the big week 1 is the confusing part, and you hit it on the head with the game script. I think that if they're chasing points, he's not built for that. He's built for that you beat up the defense, and then he usually tends to have really big fourth quarters when everybody's exhausted, and then those lanes are really opening up, and he starts tearing off 10 and 12-yard runs. He might have those short runs early on in the game, but he's loosening them up, and if they're playing from behind, they're not able to do that throughout the game.
Cooper Rush not really able to get the ball out to anybody. Zay Flowers was 5 for 5, so yep. He had a decent game, but so Saturday, everyone with Shebass, Stump were all like, I don't believe in Cooper Rush. And I was like, why? He's always been a decent backup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I understand. I get what you guys meant.
Yeah, he is who we thought he was.
He's not going to deliver.
from the Ravens' perspective, it's not just Lamar. I mean, their whole team is really beat up. So they're depleted everywhere, and the Texans' defense is really good too. So there's more things at play. I agree. I don't think Cooper Rush is really that good. So there is that, but there's other things at play as well.
Mm-hmm. Moving on to the next game is going to be one of those ones where we're all part of a survivor pool, and one of my friends, you guys wouldn't know the guy, he gave away one of his entries to his brother just because he wanted his brother to participate in the survivor pool, and his brother decided to pick off the Thursday game just because he wanted to have someone to root for. You know, you do that sometimes. You just bored and you just want to like have something at stake for the Thursday game. So he did that, and he chose the Rams on the Thursday game. I know we kind of skipped back to the Thursday game, but was that a surprise to you guys that the Rams lost that game?
I picked the Rams.
Did you?
Yeah, in the survivor pool. I lost. So did like 800 people. It was
but I mean, for me, I'm surprised that I am surprised that the Rams lost, but I'm not going to pick a divisional game between two good teams like that.
Well, in hindsight, I feel really stupid about it, but it was more about all of the injuries on San Francisco on top of the Rams have been kind of rolling, and it was in LA. It just, divisional game or not, it didn't seem like it was going to be that difficult of a pick. And honestly, like the way that the game went, it was just the 3-and-out early for the Rams put them behind. I think the whole second half the Rams pretty much owned. They were down 17-7 and then came back, and then the fumble in overtime, just some things didn't go their way, but I think that they were the better team, and just a couple of things didn't go their way. And yeah, it was pretty frustrating.
I mean, Christian McCaffrey continues to be the greatest fantasy football player of this century. This decade. I don't know. He's doing pretty good. He's doing pretty good fantasy-wise. I really need to get my hands on Brian Robinson Jr. in the league I have Christian McCaffrey in. Like, it's very, very apparent. Like, I just know based on how my leagues are going, like, I need the backup. I need the handcuff now. Because if McCaffrey goes down, Brian Robinson's going to be an absolute stud. It's just the way they play the game.
Right.
It is pretty stressful, yeah.
Yeah, so like
I'm in the same boat. I've got him in a league, and I don't have Robinson.
Yeah, no one does because everyone drafted Robinson as like a starter.
Right.
Yeah. And so
I mean, he was on the waiver wire in auction league, and I picked him up. So I have Robinson. I even reached out to the McCaffrey owner, and I'm like, hey, why don't we get your handcuff to you? And I offered him like a legitimately okay trade, and he's just like, it's a good trade, but I'm not going to do it. I'm like, all right, well, suit yourself.
I would hang on to him, dude. I would hang on to him.
That lottery ticket
policy for the league that you have McCaffrey in. At least you can know.
That's it. Yeah. Hedging my bets, I guess. At least if I lose them in this one,
Yeah, definitely. And so in that game was another decent Puka Nacua game, 10 for 85 and a touchdown. Absolute stud. Definitely regret not drafting that guy. Some teams are just good for fantasy, man. The Rams are just a good fantasy squad. It's good to have Rams players.
Yeah, and Stafford is kind of the main cog. His back goes out, and it's all out the window.
Yeah. I mean, there's risk to everything.
Yep.
Risk reward. I'm a little bit shocked at the outcome of the Giants-Saints game. I expected the Giants to actually win this game. I expected Jackson Dart to out QB Spencer Rattler. Didn't happen. Did have over 200 yards, though. Did have the 2 picks, unfortunately. Any clear takeaways, Justin, in this game that you want to hit on?
The only thing that kind of stood out to me is just Kamara really isn't being utilized how the people that drafted him anticipated, which is odd, especially in a game that they were leading. He didn't get a lot of carries, didn't get a big stat line. So, and it seems like whenever the Giants play, there's really not a lot of stats to talk about. I know Shaheed had the big touchdown reception, so it was a big play. But other than that, I didn't focus too much on it, so I don't know if there was any other really big games. I think the Giants tight end scored maybe twice. You got that in front of you?
Yeah, that Johnson, right?
Yep. Theo Johnson did score twice.
Yep, twice.
6'4", 33 on 7 targets.
Mm-hmm.
I did see a few people pick him up before the game, so if he's available, it might be. So I mean, I'm a big proponent of young quarterbacks, inexperienced quarterbacks, their tight end being kind of their safety blanket. Saw it with the Browns as well. And Njoku, kind of had that resurgence. He's going to be relevant again. It is that going to be that close area target, big body that those inexperienced quarterbacks will go to.
Yeah, and Scadaboo had 6 receptions in that game too. So I mean, that's just another. Yeah, the rookie going to the check down, right?
Yep.
And Giants had 5 turnovers, so that's going to lead to obviously a Saints win. Not that we care.
Hard to overcome that. Yeah,
we don't care who wins in these games. All we care about is the fantasy points, unless it's the Vikings game. Honestly,
in this podcast, that's how it goes. And our picks though, like our eliminator.
Well, we do care about our picks. Got to care about our picks. Another surprising game. Broncos versus the Philadelphia Eagles, and there's a lot of conspiracy and complaints about the way that this game was officiated. I don't know. We're not, Sean Payton, not a friend of the podcast. No. And so, ever since the Minneapolis Miracle, hasn't been
Which is odd.
A friend of the podcast.
It's odd we feel that way because they didn't beat us that game. So he looked like a complete ass doing that, and we still hate him for it.
I think it was because it totally backfired on him, and it just was oh god, he's even a bigger douche because it backfired on him.
Yeah,
right. Karma's a thing.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Who had all the touchdowns? We see Evan Ingram had a touchdown. J.K. Dobbins had a nice little touchdown. Who had the third touchdown for them?
I think it was field goals, and then they went for 2. It wasn't a 3-touchdown game.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Shows what I know. Yeah. Clear takeaways. Shebass, any clear takeaways here on the Broncos side of the ball for you? Anybody who you're just like, wow, I can't believe this is going on?
It's just Dobbins. I mean, he continues to roll. And R.J. Hampton, he's just not –
Harvey.
He's just not getting any carries.
R.J. Harvey.
Oh, yeah, Harvey.
Yeah. Well, I can give you some clear takeaways on the other side of the ball. On the Eagles side of the ball, A.J. Brown continues to not give me any fantasy points. And this time, Devonta Smith was like, I want all the fantasy points. And so that's what happened in this game. Devonta Smith owners, which I don't think there's a ton of them, 52-yard reception, 114 yards, 8 receptions. I mean, he didn't score a touchdown, but
no,
it's always got to be somebody other than the guy I got. It seems like.
Yeah, and Saquon had a long-ish touchdown reception, so that could have very easily been A.J. Brown, and then Goddard scored.
Yeah, that was a 47-yard touchdown reception. Goddard had the score. Saquon didn't do much on the ground, 6 for 30.
Oh.
Jalen Hurts, not doing what I need him to do this season based on where I drafted him. He was my number 1 overall pick in the league. It's our 2 QB league. And Jalen Hurts, number 3 QB. Yeah, I picked him number 1, and he's only the number 3 QB. I want him to be the number 1 QB.
Well, you picked him number 1 for you.
Yeah. But you know who didn't pick who I could have picked? Baker Mayfield, and still been doing better.
Yeah, Baker's a beast. He just gets it done against anybody.
Oh, yeah.
Correct. And I really can't complain about Jalen Hurts being the number 3 QB.
Yeah, he's so consistent. He's not having the huge games, but he's just
100%.
Set it and forget it, man.
He's averaging like 20 points a game for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Didn't he have like a 3 rushing touchdown game?
Earlier this year, I think.
Yeah.
And and
you're complaining about that?
I don't know. I think I'm only complaining because I picked up Justin Fields for $3 and he put up like 27. And he's actually averaging in the games he's actually played more than Jalen Hurts. And so that's what I was looking at. I look at the value because in this specific league where I drafted him, I never draft QBs early, and I always pay the price. And this time I used my first pick on a QB, and he's doing great. He's having a great fantasy year. But I wanted it to be like nobody that picked up Justin Fields in the last round is going to be able to compete with my Jalen Hurts. You know what I mean? That's what I want.
You pick a guy that early, you want him to be over and above. I mean, the Lamar owners aren't happy. Even the Josh Allen owners aren't happy. Josh Allen
He's the number one QB.
Literally, but he'll put up 40. Josh Allen put up like a 40-point game, and then he put up like a 13-point game the next week. So, I mean, I'm happy with my consistent 23 to 25 points a game. I know what I'm going to get. I'd much rather have that than somebody's going to put up 13 just because game script says they don't have to throw. So, you got to just depends on what your team's built for. I love consistency more than the big splash games.
With you on that. I'd rather have the 20, 25 points per game rather than having the 200-point total team for 1 week and then scoring 95 points the next week.
Right.
That's the most frustrating thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is going to that next week and you're like, where did my team go? Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
My guy only put up 13 this week and he put up 40-some last week.
Well, right. As we move on to the next game, which is actually the Dallas and New York Jets game, I will say that even as I put Justin Fields in, I do have fears that he's going to put up like 3 points and get hurt.
Oh, it's so stressful. Yeah, every one of his games, he doesn't really put up the bulk of his points till about the fourth quarter. So it's rough.
So it is a little bit nerve-wracking.
There was a play. I don't know if you saw it. There was a play. He got tackled, and I don't know how his ACL is intact. I don't know. You got to look that up. It was I couldn't believe it. You saw it real time. You're like, oh no, there it is. It's over. Yeah, and then he just kind of like limped around for a little bit.
My guillotine league just like that.
Yeah, ouch.
Because that's what I have at stake, so that's why I get nervous. But also in this game, Breece Hall got hurt. Do we have an injury update, Breece Hall?
Yeah, he came back. Same game. Yep.
Well, that's a great update.
Yeah. Me being a Breece Hall and Justin Fields owner in a league, I was very frustrated when he threw a pass to Breece and he got tackled at the 1 yard line. That was a bit frustrating.
Oh, that would be frustrating.
That did happen. Yeah.
That would be frustrating.
Yeah.
And then it'd be great if like the next play was like a direct snap to like Garrett Wilson or something.
Right.
Just completely.
It did end up being a pass, but it was I don't think it was to Garrett Wilson. I forget who it was, but it wasn't to Breece Hall.
Yeah. Was it to Andrew Beck?
That might have been it.
Yeah.
Somebody that's irrelevant.
Beck had a touchdown?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Let's talk about Ryan Flournoy.
He actually looked pretty good, like just came out of nowhere.
Yeah. 6 for 114. He had a 46-yard reception on 9 targets. So do we have any fear that this guy is just going to be the replacement for CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens is going to be back relegated to his normal George Pickens self? Only two receptions?
At this moment, I don't think so. And actually, he's getting a shot because Tolbert was injured and didn't play this game. So he was even further down the depth chart, and maybe he's showing what he's made of. And if anything, it's just Dak is right now at the top of his game. He's looking so good, just making everybody around him better. So can't wait to see CD come back and see what the team's going to look like when they're all ready to go.
I mean, right now through week 5, George Pickens, where do you think he ranks, position rank on ESPN, PPR, full PPR?
Pickens, 12.
Stats wise?
Just fantasy points wise.
12. I'll probably go 18.
He is number 6.
Ooh. Whoa, really?
Yeah. After he had the monster week, he just jumped. Yeah, his position ranked number 6 on ESPN, averaging 17 points.
That was last week, right?
Yeah, he had a monster week a couple weeks ago, and he's done decent. Yeah. Maybe it was just last week. I don't know.
Yeah. He had the huge game last week, and then he scored this week, but he kind of had a mediocre game. In the first 2 games, he was just invisible. So I don't know how he could be 6. That's
he's averaging surprising. 17 points a game. He's right above Deebo
Samuel Dak for you.
And Winston Johnson, above Jamar Chase, right behind Garrett Wilson.
If that doesn't show how good Dak is so far this year, he's even making Javonte Williams look good. I mean, that's a miracle worker if I've ever seen one.
That's true. So You know who else is making everybody look good is freaking Jake Ferguson, who I've this had on my bench all year, playing Trey McBride and leaving Jake Ferguson on the bench.
Wow.
Not smart. Not a smart
What a
move by me.
luxury. What league is this, Cory?
It's in a league that I'm in. It's in a league I'm in with none of you guys. And Trey McBride is the 4th best tight end, and Ferguson is the number 1 tight end.
Sure.
Ferguson I picked up late. Trey McBride I picked up super early, as you know. So my brain I keep saying, well, you know what?
Ferguson's consistent.
I'm finding that out. I should be trying to trade McBride right now.
Well, keep Ferguson and McBride. Start Ferguson until CD comes back, then kind of see what happens.
Yeah, that's not a bad plan, actually.
Yeah.
There is one massive hole that I'm going to have on that particular team that I'm talking about, and I kind of don't want to skip too far ahead, but I think maybe I gotta at this point. I think I gotta because I gotta talk about this hole, and that hole is from the running back position, because in that league, my running back is Omarion Hampton. So it's not looking great. Do we have an update on Omarion Hampton at all? We know he's on IR. We know he's missing a minimum of 4 weeks.
That's the update right there. Yeah,
that's the latest I've heard. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Who's taking his place?
I haven't done the research yet. I mean, no, he's out all year. He tore his Achilles.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
my God.
Kamani Vidal, maybe he's gonna. Yeah. I know I saw him have a few carries. So he's gonna be a name to look out for.
So, do you know who the number 1 rusher was last week?
For the Chargers?
The Chargers?
In the whole.
You mean like yesterday or last week?
I meant like this week.
Yeah, I do not know. Who was it?
It is Justin Herbert.
Okay.
4 carries for 60 yards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's necessarily going to be the replacement, but
yeah. Then it went Hampton. Then it went to Kamani Vidal, like you said.
Yeah, that might be why they lost the game.
Carries than Haskins, who actually had more carries than him and less yards. So this is going to be fun. It's going to be great.
Yeah. Hey, for all of those receiver owners, though, it might be that you're going to see a little bit more uptick in the passing game again.
Yeah.
That is true, actually.
So are we moving on to that game next?
We're moving on to that game. That's why I brought it up. Okay. It looks like Jaden Daniels is good at football, and that the Washington without Jaden Daniels became the Washington Commanders again. And then he comes back, and then they're the new Washington Commanders again.
I do want to say something that I've been meaning to say all year, but I'm afraid to do the Javonte Williams situation here. I do not think that Jaden Daniels isn't good at football. I'm not saying that at all, but I do feel his stats have taken a step back. I think that to a certain degree, defenses have learned how to defend him a little bit better than they did last year. And again, maybe they'll make some adjustments from the Washington side. But if you take a look at like the stat line, yes, they're winning football games, but he's not putting up those monster games. And
that actually explains why. Because in another two QB league, I'm actually he was my first QB pick, and I paid top dollar for him. So and right now he is the 25th. I know he missed a couple games, so he's 25th QB right now.
Ever since RG3 back when they were the Redskins had his huge rookie year, I had him in a keeper league, and I was afraid to keep, and I did keep him the next year, just thinking, oh my gosh, he's the next greatest thing. He's going to be huge, and the defenses figured him out, and he was just nothing the next year. So I've been really hesitant always when a rookie quarterback has a monster year to kind of don't jump right in the second year. Don't overspend for him. Kind of see if he's going to be the real deal, or if there's going to be kind of a little bit of a step back. And so I didn't get in on Jaden at all this year. I do, know that he has game and he is still a good quarterback. There is just going to be this cat and mouse of, the defenses are playing him well, but fortunately for Bill, he's opening up lanes, just the threat of him running. And so, the supporting cast around him is doing their job. So it's helping them get those W's.
Drake May is averaging 1 more fantasy point per game. than Jaden Daniels. And I think Drake May went at the end of every draft, and Jaden Daniels went top 3 in every draft for QBs, pretty much. So that you look at that value in hindsight, and you're like, gosh damn it.
Should have waited.
Yeah, it's like the one year that I went early on QBs in every league. I could have waited in all those or chosen a different QB for sure. But I really shouldn't complain about Jalen Hurts because he's still doing quite well. So as far as the receivers go, Quentin Johnston again outproduced Ladd McConkey by 1 yard, but still continues to outproduce Ladd McConkey, which is unbelievable. Keenan Allen having a monster year. I mean, he's people are picking him for absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
I mean,
waivers in some leagues.
Oh yeah, I picked him up on waivers in a league, I think, or maybe I just drafted him like super late. But right now in a full PPR league, he is the 14th best receiver number 14. So he's a wideout too. In a 12-man league or a 10-man league, really any league, he's a wideout too mathematically. Unless you're in a 16-man league, then he's a wideout 1.
It just shows you how bad Caleb Williams is, huh? I mean, he was a stud with the Chargers. He goes to Chicago for 1 year, and Caleb Williams can't get him the frickin' ball. And then he goes back to the Chargers, and now he's a stud again.
He's the man again. Yeah.
It's unbelievable. But no one feels as bad as the Ladd McConkey owners.
Although Ladd scored this week, so there is that.
5 for 39 and 1.
Yeah.
But
I think Herbert was feeling for the Ladd McConkey owners because he tried to throw multiple times into the end zone to Ladd, and he finally got one to stick. So
finally,
he was looking out for the Ladd owners.
Other side of the ball, Bill, 14 for 111 and 2 touchdowns. So he's finally had his little kind of coming out party. And then we got Deebo Samuel here, which one of you guys told me to put in this week, and I'm glad I did. 8 for 96 and 1. So that ended up working out. Washington had a great game. Had a great turnout. I'm shocked to see the Chargers lose 2 weeks in a row, honestly.
Same. Yeah. I mean, Deebo seems like at this point, if you have your roster structured so that I'd start him every week, although you can't expect him to put up the big game every week. He's going to be one of those streaky guys, but he's having more good weeks than bad.
I mean, I have him in my Tyreek Hill league, so it's my only option is to put him in every week now.
Sure. Yeah.
Pretty much have no other options, so it's not a bad backup option to have. I just literally went back to the wrong game. What am I doing? I forgot to bring up Javonte Williams tearing it up this week, but whatever.
I alluded to that a little bit. Thank you, Dak. Javonte does. I mean, I continue to eat crow on that one. He does look like completely rejuvenated. The Javonte I remember in Denver it seemed like his injuries they seemed insurmountable. Even when they said he was healthy, he still didn't look right. And the change of scenery has done him well, certainly.
You know who else looks like he's rejuvenated? Danny Dimes. Moving on to the next game. We're going to go Colts and Raiders. And Danny Dimes looks absolutely rejuvenated. 212 yards and 2 touchdowns. I was a little bit upset in the league that I own him in because I didn't put him in because I put in Justin Fields. Like you said, Justin Fields got all of his points late. Yeah. So I was a little mad at first.
Then I was
like, oh, I am smart.
Yeah, after all.
Yeah.
Because fourth quarter smart.
Because Danny's he's a good football player. He's making the right decisions, but he's not really having the huge games by any means. He's not putting up the big numbers.
No, but I mean, from a pure fantasy standpoint, he is the QB7. So, averaging 19 points a week. It's decent,
What? Wasn't
that
he
is
2
about,
at one point?
What's that?
Wasn't he
after the first
second?
week? I think he had like 30-some
was?
points the first week. Yeah,
the first
week he
week he had a
number
monster
2?
week. The average is actually higher than Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels is like 18 per game. And I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure if that's discounting the 2 games that he sat.
I would certainly think they weren't factored in.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor, could have had him instead of Jaden Daniels. 3 touchdowns, 66 yards on 17 carries. Could have had him instead of Jaden Daniels and then grabbed Danny Dimes later for the connection. But hindsight's always going to be 20/20.
Cory, in the Superflex League, who is your second rounder? I know you drafted Hurts in the first round. Who was your second rounder?
I swung back and grabbed Christian McCaffrey.
Okay. Well, that wasn't such a bad pick.
No.
I got Jonathan Taylor in the third round, but I was before you in the third round.
Mm-hmm.
But
so I should have went Jonathan Taylor and Christian McCaffrey. Then fill out the rest of my roster, same as I did. Besides AJ Brown, I should have grabbed somebody other than him.
Yeah, and
then I could have just swung back and just grabbed, Danny Dimes and Baker.
Danny Dimes, yeah, there you go. Right, hindsight, always the best.
Yeah, hindsight's always 20/20.
Mm-hmm.
Pittman had another touchdown. He was not the the leading receiver. There was a ton of guys. I mean, a ton of guys got the ball in this game. See Downs. How do you pronounce his name? Doolin. Of course, Tyler Warren touchdown.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, Danny Dimes is just spreading it around. Anthony Richardson even had a grab. Did you see that?
Grab?
I did see that. Yes.
Yeah. Anthony Richardson, 1 reception for 9 yards on 1 target.
I know he finished off the game, but that's about when I switched off, so I didn't see anything fun like that.
Oh,
yeah. He went to go throw it. It got tipped by the defensive line way up in the air, and then he caught it.
With as good as Danny Dimes has been doing for the Colts, I'm still glad I traded him after week 1 because I think since week 1, I traded him and Lawrence for Dak.
And you got to be happy.
So
with
far,
Dak.
it's worked out pretty good.
Yeah,
got to be happy with Dak. Other side of the ball, Ashton Genty, 67 yards. Raheem Mostert got 7 carries in this game. Trey Tucker leading the team in receptions again. Jacoby Myers also had 4 receptions for about half the yardage.
Surprised to see with them trailing so big the whole game that their passing stats weren't higher, especially because Bowers was out this game. So with Bowers out and trailing big, you'd think that the passing numbers would have been higher. Interestingly enough, Brock Bowers did not play this game, so there was more targets to go around. And we were both, Shebass and I were both mentioning how we were surprised that the Raiders didn't have more passing stats because they were down so big. And with Bowers being out, you'd think some of the wideouts would have some more inflated numbers than they did.
Have you ever wondered why, there can be a team that has, let's just use the Raiders as an example, right? They can have this, a coach that they picked up from a team who got rid of their coach and got rid of their QB for a reason. And now they joined up again on another team and they're getting the same results. The reason why they lost their jobs at the previous team.
Yeah.
The
Seahawks are like, yeah, we told you.
We didn't want Pete Carroll. We didn't want this guy. We didn't want none of these guys, and you guys pick them up, classic Raiders. But that being said, you also do have the Carolina Bowl, right? The Seahawks and the Tampa Bay, and Carolina had both of those QBs. And it worked out for them later on.
Yeah.
So there's that. Let's move on to Carolina. Miami. We talked about Darren Waller. I'm shocked that Miami can't win these games. I'm shocked that Carolina can't win, or that Miami can't win any games. It's blowing me away that's happening.
I don't know how McDaniels is going to hold on to his job.
You in this game?
Rico Dowdle. Rico Dowdle.
Where's Rico Dowdle? Did he have 200 yards?
206 yards.
Yeah, 200.
Monster game.
Yep.
Yeah. Stump actually called that. Was it Stump that called that last week? He said I don't remember, and he was going, well, I don't know which one. He's like, I don't know who's gonna do it. He's like, I think he said ETN might get some run.
ETN, yes.
He's like, ETN might get some run, and he's like, it's either gonna be him or it's gonna get he couldn't remember his name. He's like, former running back from the Cowboys. I'm like, oh yeah, Dowdle. Well, Dowdle got some run.
Well, yeah, I mean, Dowdle had been kind of splitting carries for the last few games. he's been getting, I think, a decent amount, a percentage of the carries. So it seems just natural for him to get, to get the opportunity. And I think ETN did get a few carries, but Dowdle just looks so good.
Yeah,
Dowdle's 23.
Yep.
So you think that if Dowdle was getting carries, that now ETN would get a few carries in Dowdle's place, but that didn't happen. Tet 6 for 73. Always good to see as a Tet owner in multiple leagues.
I'd like to see him get 6. He needs to score. He's got solid performances, but we got to get him. We got to get him a touchdown.
Does he have one yet?
I don't think so.
Is he at 0? Okay.
Jalen Waddle, other side of the ball, 6 for 110 and a touchdown. Darren Waller, 5 for 78 and a touchdown. HN, 6 for 30 and a touchdown. So our fantasy guys are actually doing their job for Miami, which is good. My fear is with Miami is that the wheels are just going to fall off, and it's going to be like week 1 where no one's going to do anything. Like there's going to completely fall off. And
because they're discouraged, right? Like it does
100%.
seem like when losses continue to compile, then everybody turns into
especially
Tyreek Hill and
his like and you got Tyreek's leg sideways, and it's just.
Wasn't Miami up in that game for a bit though too?
Yeah,
weren't they up 14-0 or something?
Yeah,
because I remember my son just be like, "Oh, here we go again," and then they popped into red zone. He's like, "Oh, let's go turn it on."
But I mean, that's that familiar pattern from Carolina where you never know. You never know what they're going to get. I never want in the eliminator pool. I never want to pick against them again. I mean, because one game they're getting the doors blown off, and the next they're beating Atlanta 30-0. I just you never know what you're going to get. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
I will say that right now, and this is completely, we're not talking. This is a completely different game. I do have Kareem Hunt going in the league right now. 2 leagues actually.
He scored twice.
I know, it's fantastic.
I just was talking mad shit about that. I'm like, get out of here, vulture.
Yeah, he's my vulture. You leave him alone. He's my vulture.
Yeah,
I also have Pacheco going in the league because I have to. So
same.
Yeah, we're recording this at the same time as the Monday night game.
Is that a guillotine or is that a normal fantasy league?
I have him in an Empire league, and I have him in one other league.
Okay.
So he's got 18 points in my Empire league, and I am about to win again. My team, which I thought was trash, is going to be 4-1 after today. In about 1 minute. So it's just that as a fantasy owner, I have an elite mind. When it comes to drafting rookies and stuff like that, I have an elite perspective that no one else understands. So
I'm getting major Ron Burgundy vibes right now.
except in our dress league.
What's that?
Except in our dress league.
Except in the dress league, yeah. In this league, because I had Brock Bowers in. I drafted Brock Bowers to help rejuvenate my team last season, and he went out. So who'd I put in? Darren Waller, because I have an elite football mind. 16 points from him. This year, drafted Tet McMillan, 10 points there. Traded for Michael Pittman Jr., 12 points there. Made sure that I had Pickens in when CeeDee Lamb got hurt. That's 12 points. I had him in anyways. Kareem Hunt, because who did I take out? Nick Chubb. I took out somebody that was terrible, and threw in Kareem Hunt. I think it was Nick Chubb, but Nick Chubb actually didn't have a bad week. So,
do we all get to do show and tell?
I'm trying to think if I even have Nick Chubb on this team.
Because I got one. I really love.
I have Nick Chubb. I have Nick Chubb in actually.
Is it a Buka?
What? You want to show and tell on Buka? Go ahead and show and tell one of your guys.
No, who do you?
A league.
Okay,
so in our super flex. My running backs, Bijan and Jonathan Taylor, and then my receivers, I have St. Brown, and I've got Rashee Rice coming back, and I just traded for CeeDee Lamb.
You just traded for CeeDee Lamb? How'd you do that?
Yes. I traded DK Metcalf and ETN for CeeDee Lamb.
Damn. Was he hurting for a running back?
I'm supposed to win.
Yeah, he was hurting for basically everything. And then McBride is my tight end. And I have for my 2 quarterbacks, I have Dak and unfortunately Kyler, who still needs to come around. But if that's the weak spot, then
it feels like you're trying to
to
build that team specifically to beat my team.
We play this week.
Well, we'll see.
We'll both be 4-1.
I still got to check that.
I actually looked, and actually you're looking better than me this week. So
Okay.
You can beat me in the regular season. I'll smoke you in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's if you make it to the playoffs.
Right.
Let's go on to the North Carolina Bowl here, to the Panthers Bowl, which is going to be the Buccaneers versus the Seahawks. Would you rather have, if you were an NFL, like a real NFL owner, would you rather have Baker Mayfield or would you rather have Slinging Sam Darnold as your QB?
Oh, Baker
Mayfield.
I'm going to say Mayfield as well. He's just a dog. 379 yards, 2 touchdowns. Sam Darnold, 341, 4 touchdowns, but he had an interception. Still unbelievable though that both of these guys played for the Panthers, and the Panthers let both of them go.
Yeah, it's always funny. We could talk about that every.
Really, I mean, we should.
It'll be funny.
We should actually change the name of this podcast to the Panthers.
Wasn't it funny? Yeah.
And just talk about just that. JSN, 8 for 132 and a touchdown. He's a beast. Ken Walker, 86 yards on 10 carries. Charbonnet, 9 carries. So they both had basically an equal timeshare in terms of how many carries they had. But Walker did way better than Charbonnet with what he had. It's 86 yards versus 36 yards.
Walker did have 2 carries with inside the 10-yard line, which was encouraging to see. Did not materialize into a touchdown, but for those of us that have Walker, we just expect that he's instantly going to get pulled when they get down there. It was nice to see him get a couple carries.
It's good to see Torrey Horton get a touchdown because I actually own him in a couple leagues. Flyer.
Sure.
AJ Barner, 2 touchdowns. Other side of the ball here, I don't know. I don't think Ibuka can be denied at this point.
Looks like the real deal.
He's so good.
I think that he heard all the rumblings about how, he was going to get relegated back to like a third wide receiver as soon as Godwin returns. And I know that they still have some injuries and stuff like that at their wideout position, but I just think that how can he be denied at this point? What is he at? Where is he at in terms of receivers? I'm going to look it up really quick. Do you guys happen to know off the top of your head?
I don't really look weekly.
Rank wise, no, I don't.
I know I did look, and I remember thinking,
I mean, if Pickens was 7, you said he's got to be within the top 5. He's got to be
4.
He's 3. He's number 3.
Okay.
He's right above JSN, right behind St. Brown and Puka Nacua. So, yeah, I mean, he can't be denied at this point. I mean, what do you do? I mean, there's nothing you can do. I mean, the torch is officially passed. What do you think? I mean, he's
but
I don't think he'll relinquish it at all. But I mean, there's something to be said how they're going to all get targets. Ibuka still might be the top target getter, but if there's 20 targets to go around, I mean, right now Ibuka might be getting 12, but when all 3 of them are there, it might drop down to 8.
And just always kind of felt like Mike Evans was like the vampire of that team, like he was never going to go anywhere. And now it feels like he can finally retire in happiness, knowing that the team is still going to win games because they got freaking Ibuka over there. I can't even say his name.
Yeah, that's gonna be his deciding factor, right? They got a rookie now. I'm gonna hang it up after this year.
I'm gonna hang it up. Yeah. I always think of Tony Romo's like retirement speech where he's like, "My replacement has been drafted. He's here." Remember that?
Vaguely. Yeah.
Yeah, he got hurt, and Dak came in and outplayed everyone's expectation, and Romo came back and he was like, "I'm just going to retire. Like, my replacement's here, and I know it. Like, I'm not going to play these games. Like, I'm out."
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Anything else excite us in that game?
It was a very exciting game. It was fun to watch. Rashid White looked
good. It was just a great game.
We can move on to the game that
Cooper Kupp was targeted 9 times.
The game that kicked so many people out of the survivor pool Arizona versus the Titans. I had Arizona winning this. They lost by a point. I see the look on your face, Justin. You were the one that texted me immediately when they lost. What are your key takeaways from this game?
Frustrating. Arizona, it's a pattern. They get up big and then they just kind of cruise control and just sit on it. They did that earlier this year. I think it was Carolina where they almost punted that game away. But they were up 21-0, 21-3 maybe early, and then they just gave up. And then DeMarcado flipping the ball away, A.D. Mitchell style, 1 week after it happened. I don't know how you can't use that as a coaching moment for all coaches across the entire league to say, hey, guys, don't ever do this. To see him bust a 71-yarder and then flip it away it was frustrating. Michael Carter took the bulk of the carries in Benson's absence. He did score, but I think his rushing average was pretty poor. 16 carries for a mediocre 40-some yards, I believe. But
18 carries for 51 yards. Do you think so? Is he going to be the guy? Do you think?
I think they were pretty much saying that was going to be the case, and DeMarcado was going to continue to do his same third down role. And the way that Gannon, after that play, tore into him, I don't know if he'll be seeing the field for the next game or two. I mean, if you haven't seen it, you gotta look it up.
Do you think they cut him after that?
I mean,
okay, this can't happen.
It wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't shock me, but yeah, that not only lost. I mean, it lost the game. That would have put them up 28-12 at that point, and it would have sealed the game. They ended up losing the game by I forget what was it was just one possession, correct? What was the final score?
Lost by 1 point. It's 21-22.
1 point. Yeah.
So I mean, I look at this as and that, I mean, not only did he boot them out of the game, he also booted all of us out of our survival pool because so he really,
that was the most frustrating thing.
He completely screwed all of us on that deal. So I actually had James Conner, and then I was like, don't worry, he's hurt, but I have his handcuff. Throw Benson in, Benson gets hurt. Yeah, like, this is just terrible.
Yeah.
In that league, I have all Arizona running back or all Arizona players, and it's not working out. It's not working out at all. So
the auction, yeah.
It's kind of sad because I have the coolest name in that league, and my team name is going to get changed next year.
That's gotta hurt. Are you the lowest? So you're going to be the lowest in that one and your dress league?
Yeah.
What about that football mind? You got to change. You got to change
that
up.
It's only an elite football mind if we're drafting for the long game. I'm building out an empire.
I feel like we need to set up a fund to send you to a fantasy football camp on how to draft.
This is it.
Fantasy football camp.
We'll make sure it's in Vegas for you though.
No, I'm okay. I'm in.
We'll set up a fund for half of his camp and half Wi-Fi for Shebass.
Exactly.
I love it. I like the way you think.
Marvin Harrison 4 for 98. You guys have anything to say about Marvin Harrison's play in this game?
He looks better.
Yeah, he looks better. And he's go ahead.
He caught 5 of his. No, you're good. He caught 5 of his or 4 of his 5 targets. So I mean, he looks better. It didn't seem like
was his one non-catch a drop.
I didn't see the one non-catch, but
there you go.
I'm assuming it probably. I don't know. Just his history, right? Even going back to college at Ohio State, he was dropping balls, and that was his knock when he came out of Ohio State was he drops balls. So
which is weird.
It's expected.
His dad's Marvin Harrison, senior.
Well, first drive of the game, they threw a long pass to Marvin Harrison right out the gate. He caught it at the 1 yard line, double covered, and oddly enough, he was tackled. Like he just caught it and fell, and was called. It was called a touchdown at first, but then they reviewed it and put it at the half yard line, and then that's when Michael Carter ran it in. But he was very close to having a touchdown on top of that stat line. So playing much better. The discouraging thing is I don't know if it's Kyler and just his aggressive nature or lack thereof, or the offensive coordinator and play style, but just the fact that they can game script, get up big, and they just got to continue pushing the pedal down. I mean, it's been a pattern at this point. They get to that 21 points and then coast.
Yep.
Other side of the ball, it was good to see Calvin Ridley have his coming out party versus A.O. Manor, which is kind of like the guy that Shebass was looking forward to him.
Yeah, he disappointed. I think he only had 2 catches that game. So,
yep, yeah, he did. Calvin Ridley 5 for 131, so that was a good one. Pollard 14 for 67 continues to be mediocre, but did have the touchdown there, so that's good. Cam Ward 265, 0 touchdowns and an interception. So Cam Ward continuing to develop, not putting them in anytime soon, but nice win, young man. Nice win.
And his interception did end up being a touchdown. So there's that.
Yeah, so technically he did.
Yes.
Throw a touchdown.
That old Tecmo Bowl celebration.
Yeah.
Another shocker here, and I think you guys know which game I'm going to go to, right? When I say the shocker, it's the last game of the week. I fell asleep during it.
Buffalo.
Oh yeah.
What do you guys think about that? Buffalo. One of you guys, I think it was Stump, said that this game smells like a trap.
Yes, he did,
and it did, and I didn't touch it in our survivor pool.
Same.
Yeah, it did. It smelled just like a trap. It's not just. I just had this feeling that this is going to happen. Stephon Diggs had his revenge that he wanted, 10 for 146. Yep. But his right hand man, the guy who has the 6, you might say, the booty to his Diggs, was only 3 for 43. So
we're losing that reference pretty soon. It's dwindling.
I just want Diggs and Booty to just have like mirror stats. Like it's one
right.
They
huge
both
games
for 100 and a touchdown. Yeah, I think that'd be fantastic. Hunter Henry, mediocre game. This game 2 for 46.
Dropped a touchdown.
So
he hit him in the hand on the goal line. It was definitely a play that he could have had back.
And then the Patriots running back situation is just continuing to get worse.
I don't know if that's the case. Simply because Gibson tore his ACL, and again, we don't like when that happens, but it might provide a little bit more clarity instead of it being a 3-headed monster.
Yeah.
It is now a 2-headed monster, and Stevenson fumbled again. I saw a hilarious meme on social media of like, you better watch out, Stevenson. 8 or 9 more fumbles, and they might give this Henderson kid a try. So,
well. Yeah, so I did hear the announcer talking about the Gibson injury, but when you just look at the target or the carry share, they're all pretty much got the same amount of carries this game. Gibson's out 6 or 7. So Henderson 6, Gibson 6, Stevenson 7. So Gibson doesn't get hurt, then it would have been probably Gibson and Stevenson with the majority of the.
Yeah, it'll be 10 each now.
Yeah, be 10 each now. Unfortunately, Drake May. Looking good. But he only had 273 yards, and that was it. But looking good. No touchdowns or anything like that. Josh Allen, other side of the ball. He was 9 for 53 on the ground. So Josh Allen continues to put up that yardage on the ground. Probably why he's the best QB in the league right now from a pure points per game situation. James Cook, I know I turned on the game just as the announcers were like, if the Bills don't start putting the ball in the hands of their good players, they're not going to win this game. Josh Allen and James Cook need to get more involved. James Cook, 15 for 49. Dalton Kincaid, 6 for 108, though.
I was surprised to see that stat line was that small. But watching the game, it seemed like every pass was going to Kincaid. It was outrageous. I thought he had a much bigger game than that. But he was looking for Kincaid left and right, and he looked really good.
Yeah, he did. I mean, I did see a little bit of Kincaid before I dozed off, averaging 18 yards of reception. What's that?
Do you think going forward, do you think he's going to be the main target now for Allen?
It does seem like
Okay.
it's been the case the last few games. I mean,
Yeah.
I dropped him, or I actually drafted him in a league, and he didn't have a great first game, and I just kind of was like, all right, it's going to be more of the same, so I dropped him, and so I'm definitely regretting that. But Allen absolutely looks for him, and there was some rumors that he was just hurt throughout the whole year last year, and you never know if that's actually, but he looks much better and much more fluid this year than he did.
Yep, agreed.
Keon Coleman he only had four receptions for 23 yards, but he did have 7 targets. So, but it seemed like I felt like Josh Allen liked him over Shakir for a couple of these games this year.
First game of the year, he had a big game. Yeah. Coleman's more that straight line. He does more downfield sort of stuff, and Shakir is the wing slot sort of guy that he kind of does some of those short yardage, and then he does more yards after the catch sort of stuff.
Yeah, he's the guy that Josh Allen throws the ball at him like 1,000 miles an hour, and you think it's just gonna go through his chest, and he dives. It's like where the cameraman doesn't even see where the ball went, and then he's laying on the ground with the ball in his hands.
It just knocked him over.
Pretty much. It's like, need a first down. It's like, see nothing. Well, looks like we got through the games. Is that it? Or no, we still have a game. We didn't.
Did we cover Detroit?
Yeah, we didn't cover the game that actually did help me to hang on to one of my survivor picks, and that is the obvious Detroit win over the Bengals, but the Bengals did put up 24 points. So, I mean, that's something.
It was late. It was garbage time and a couple of big chase touchdowns.
Yeah. I was a little nervous at the beginning of that game.
What's that?
Yeah. I was nervous at the beginning of that game because I picked Detroit in my pick league, and I just thought, oh my God, this is not going to look good. They're up 7-0, and then I was like, Cincinnati looked decent, and then they got that second touchdown. I was like, okay, now I'm not so nervous as I was. I thought it was going to start going south for Detroit for a minute, but yeah.
Well, I picked Detroit in both of mine, and then I switched one to Arizona at the very last second.
Ouch.
So that definitely hurt.
Yeah.
And
ouch.
My neighbor who was trying to save, according to him, he's saving all the good teams for the end of the season. I was thinking, well, how are you going to get to the end of the season when you're saving all the good teams? I don't get that.
Yeah, that's always the challenge. I've had both of those thoughts.
Yeah, well, what's funny about that is that last year in the Survivor pool, when I started doing that towards the end of the season, I started trying to save games. Like I'm looking at the remaining games. Okay, there's only 6 games left or whatever, and I'm going to save. Yeah. That's why I lost. Was when I started doing that. I feel like the best. I mean, 50% of the teams are going to win every week.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of being like, who's
not getting caught.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Win.
Yeah. Yep.
And so, like this week, and for me, that was Detroit, and I should have used Detroit on both of mine, but I didn't. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 8 for 10. Sam Laporta, another good game, 5 for 92 and a touchdown. Jameson Williams, he was at the bank, I think. I think he was just counting his money instead of playing.
Yeah, nowhere to be found.
Yeah, nowhere to be found. He was like Scrooge McDuck. He was swimming. He was looking for his lucky dime. He was like, I'm just happy I signed this contract. Don't worry, kids. Don't worry, baby. I'm almost retired now.
Yeah, I'm staying safe, staying healthy.
Yeah, staying safe. Don't want to be. Need to be able to spend this money.
He actually got benched. Did you know that?
I was not aware. He got benched, huh?
Yep. He got benched. He was out too late getting Skyline chili. So
funny.
They benched him. No, I'm just kidding.
I was just saying, what? Like, he did have one grab.
Hey, Skyline chili, though, it's good stuff, man. It is good stuff.
Jahmyr Gibbs and Dave Montgomery both had pretty decent games. But, I mean, the Lions did exactly what we expected.
Yeah.
So, and then really, I mean, Jamar Chase did exactly what we've been hoping. But outside of that, I mean, there wasn't a ton of production over there. T. Higgins actually had a touchdown, but he didn't really have much for stats. P. Ryan actually had the same amount of yards as Chase Brown. So,
You can't be comfortable having any Cincinnati players at this point. You never know what you're going to get. I mean, even if you have Jamar Chase,
who I'm starting every single week.
You have to, but you just can't be. It can't be a comfortable feeling.
Yeah. Wonder if I should try to trade him now.
Now's
After
the
this
time.
week. Try to see what kind of value I can get, because that's the league I have Amari and Hampton in.
There you go. Well, and you have those 2 tight ends. I'd definitely go try to get something.